I'm very much excited for this particular game that's going on right now, Game 17, because we have JT and Applesauce playing in the same lineup again for the second weekend in a row. We've got Tavion competing this time. Usually we see him a lot as a substitute or a filler, but he's competing this particular game. And we got Jimmy, who's actually acting as the filler because unfortunately there's no sign of Trap Queen at the moment. Whether she's just running late or whether she's like out in the town or somewhere like doing her own thing and just completely forgot about this game, I don't know. But nevertheless, Jimmy is here, attacked as a filler. And killers today will be starting off with Apex, then Junrei, then Mikkel, and Mr. Demon, or if not Mr. Demon, whoever will be willing to sub for him. He has chosen to play as the Hag for this game.
I hope he gets the 3-gen he needs, otherwise this could be a very intense match for him, to say the least.
Indeed. Well, I mean, the Rancid Abattoir usually has a very good generator spread, so it does easily allow for 3-gen strats in most cases. Of course, that can sometimes be dependent on where exactly you start. And it looks as though he's started by the shack. Jimmy is cleansing a totem already. JT working a generator on his own, it looks like. Apple working on one, Tavion working on one. So there are 3 different generators being worked by solo survivors at the moment. Jimmy getting another totem. He's getting in that boldness pretty early.
That could be very useful, getting chased in the late game by a Hag. Although she's not normally a very strong chasing killer, without any pallets or anything to rely on, and Apex would obviously anticipate the 360s and the jukes, it might be very difficult near the end of the match.
Indeed, yes. Well, I mean, I'm curious because I don't really think I've seen Apex play Hag before. I've seen him play many other killers, but not seen him use Hag before. So I don't know if this is a killer he feels that confident with, or whether he has a general idea of what, or general plan of what to do.
Well, he's obviously setting up his 3-gen, but I'm looking at his standings right now, or his global ranking for killer, and he's played Dr. Wraith, Leatherface, Wraith again, and Freddy as his rotation. So I'm not sure. That's not Trapper. That's not Hag. You're right. So I don't know. He probably knows how to play killer in general well. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, so it turns out Apex has found JT after the latter triggered one of his phantasm traps. But put down the pallet whilst Apex respected it. Now, Jimmy's taken a hit somewhere. I think Apex was trying to go after JT, but realised Jimmy was just hiding there around the corner. Applesauce, meanwhile, is working a generator with Tavion, so they're still getting the ball rolling in terms of generator progress. Apex, on the other hand, is just trying to narrow down the attack on JT. It finally gets a Phantasm attack as well, and a hit on JT too. And it looks as though he wasn't that set on terms of continuing the chase on JT. Probably trying to make sure he's got a defensive stronghold on these generators.
That is absolutely the play, to be honest, because if you give up these generators for even a second, especially on these well-versed survivors, they will take your 3-gen, and they will throw it away, and they will take this match into their own hands.
Exactly, yes. And someone else has been hit. It's Tavion. And who else triggered that trap? Was that... Oh, it was JT. And he goes down. He was doing a feint to go through the window of the abattoir, but Apex read it. And JT's going to be the first one to be hooked.
I told you Apex knows how to read these jukes and 360s.
So Applesauce and Tavion both running away from the generator. Looks like they both want to go for this hook rescue. But Jimmy's going to beat them to it. The filler is coming in to steal their points. I don't think JT will care so much. He just cares that he's off the hook and being double healed. But here's the problem though with like plays like this. Like, he's being very defensive with his setup. He's getting the traps, which is good in its own way. But the thing with at 3-gen strats and defensive plays like this is that they kind of work when you apply pressure to the survivors and eventually whistle them down to the point where even if there's only one generator remaining and it's a 3-gen strat, you have like 3 or less survivors to worry about. Oh, Applesauce, for some reason, put down the pallet. Oh, it's because he triggered a phantasm trap behind him. And the basement is right there. And she teleports to another trap in front of her. Oh, and he gets a hit down on Applesauce after another phantasm attack. So Apex definitely rolling in the deviousness. Oh,
Absolutely.
and JT missing the pallet stun.
Ooh.
Right on the edge of the pickup, but I think Apex was just clear of it.
It must have been. That was very close.
And Tavion's hiding very close by to profit from the hit rescue, whilst Jimmy's also running up there, not knowing Tavion's there. Jimmy gets hit, and JT is applying pressure on the generators.
Here he goes. He's trying to take that 3-gen away.
All 3 survivors were there, but where was Apex? Was he just applying more generators? I'm sorry, applying more traps?
Maybe he might have put that trap down just to spook the survivors, really. Keep them moving, keep them from just healing right there.
See, they're 99ing a couple of generators. They're not committing to all of them. And...
Well,
see, he's constantly chasing, going back for JT and then running away again. He's getting hunter points as well as boldness, giving boldness points to JT while doing that. And he gets a hit on to Applesauce again. Jimmy is still injured, by the way. And Apple has actually run over to the generator on very much in Apex's corner.
if he hits a trap, this could spell a lot of disaster.
Oh, and Apex went for a simple hit. It wasn't a lunge though, and he missed Tavion, but gets a hit on Tavion. Apple and JT both are applying dip pressure on 2 of his key generators. Apple is still injured, but he isn't being troubled at the moment. And he needs to be careful. And the thing is that there are actually a couple of ways to counter the Hag's traps, one of which is to simply crawl around the place. You know, their crouch starts. And another is to, if you have a flashlight, just shine a light on them.
Well, that could potentially be a waste of the flashlight, because you could much better use it for flashlight blinds on the killer to save an ally.
They're all there being healed, and Apex is just busy setting more traps.
Absolutely. This is the key time for him to set more traps while they're busy with other things.
Except he's chasing them now. And he's destroying more pallets too. But what he needs to do really is to sort of try and make sure that his defensive hold is in place. Because if he's not committing to the chase, he either needs to apply pressure or he needs to go back and sort out his defenses. It seems to me like Apex is a little bit torn between what to do with this particular Hag play.
Well, from what I can see from his records, he's more used to playing aggressive killers, and he kind of wants to play this as an aggressive killer, even though it's very obviously not.
He absolutely does, yeah. And it's the way it's going at the moment. It looks increasingly unlikely that he's going to get a 4 kill or anything like that, like we're used to seeing him get. I mean, the survivors, though, do pose a challenge, obviously. He's up against JT and Applesauce. Like, Jimmy's not a bad filler for a player who's 5th from the standings.
I think Tavion has a decent record also.
And for some reason, that was not a phantasm attack on JT. Unbelievably. Even though he triggered 2 different traps and got hit about 2 or 3 seconds after the last one triggered. Now, Applesauce, okay, that's not one of Apex's key gens. They're 99ing it, though. And that's Apple triggering another trap. And he takes a Phantasm attack. And Apex has at least 5k in each category, 3 main categories. He's got another Phantasm attack. These Phantasm attacks are rolling in for him. So even if he's not getting the sacrifice points in, he's making sure he's getting high amounts in the other three main categories, which, if you're not coming across hooks that easily, is really one of the best things you can do. Just score like crazy in the three main categories. And this is why games such as these against a defensive killer such as a hag can really be a battle of attrition. Okay guys, so it appears that we're having issues with Discord. And for some reason, like, the server is out of contention at the moment. So I'm basically just going to keep on commentating by myself whilst Discord sorts itself out. Okay, so he's basically triggered another trap as, I believe that's applesauce, and they're all triggering traps now. He's just climbing back through the window again, and I think that's going to give applesauce more momentum. But again, they're triggering more traps. And that's another Phantom's attack. He's got max deviousness as Apex. And Tavion and Apple having to run away from that gen. So Apex is absolutely full to the brim with deviousness. He doesn't need to worry about that. But he's running away from where all the survivor action is going on. He's just playing a very defensive game. If he can't get enough sacrifice points, at least he's got enough deviousness and getting close to max and everything else. But finds Tavion. He does still need more brutality and hunter points to make up the 8k in those categories. Jimmy and JT both, they're all trying to run towards different gens, trying to cause mayhem. Tavion's just running for his life. And whilst Applesauce regroups with Tavion to give him some healing assistance. Seems like JT, who has finally got 5k bonus by the looks of it, is being chased around the shack. But I've got to be honest, it looks to me like Apex isn't that used to playing the Hag. But nevertheless, he is adjusting well to it. Oh, he wasn't close enough to that because JT baited him well. Oh, he spun the wrong way. I think there were like 2 survivors near that trap of his. And he's just doing what he can to get more hits on them, get more hunter points too. Just a constant switching around, he's just spreading the love wherever he can. He's got max hunter points. Now just needs max brutality points, and then it's just a case of getting hooks in. Who is he chasing now? Looks like he's after Tavion. So he's gonna hit. And he's going back because he knows that JT's just standing still, surveying the situation. No one at the moment is on generators. And finally, Jimmy comes his back to JT. Applesauce running back towards the generators. We've got Tavion in tow as well. And JT seems to be going back on the generator to the right of the that basement, or where the shack is. again, Apex just continuing the defensive game, just setting down traps, relaying them, even though he's completely fine for deviousness. But he wants to catch them out, and he's trying to, I think, scare them off more than actually land a hit. And again, he's taking a run round. Oh, and Apple ran the other way as soon as he triggered that trap. And a great juke by him. Gets a hit, and that is max brutality as well. So he is spot on for top marks and all the 3 main categories. Just needs sacrifice points now. He's got 2 different survivors to choose from. He's got Jimmy, he's got JT, he's got Tavion now that he's walked over there. The thing is, though, I think he needs to commit now to actually getting some people down, because he's just going to and from between these generators. But the survivors don't actually have all that much in the way of objective points, though, so this is actually necessary for them. And while there aren't any new hooks going on, the game is in a sort of stasis now. They're just sort of like trading blows for blows and then trying to get back onto the generators. But this must be doing really well for their Ultraism or Boldness points. The fact that the Ultraism is requiring only just heals, but they must be healing so many times. And Tavion takes a hit for that, getting stuck in the trees and the hay bales. Can he actually make it in time, I wonder? There's no pallet there. And it looks like Tavion might be going down, and he does. And is Jimmy going to go for the... No, this is his chance to be aggressive. I think he's taking this opportunity to go aggressive. Like, Tavion is going to go back up on his feet. So another pallet there for Apex to break down after JT used it to break some ground and get some distance in from Apex. But so far, he's actually doing an incredible job of actually delaying progress on the generators. Like, nothing significant's going on. He's constantly laying down traps. He's making sure people don't try and get any significant progress into these gens. Sorry, just checking the situation on Discord. So Tavion is working the generator. What is Apex doing at the moment? He's going back. He's just playing an incredibly defensive game. And, okay, I've just got back into Discord with Nerd, so good to hear your voice again, Nerd, if you can hear me.
I hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't sure when Discord was coming back. It seemed to be temporarily out for, I don't know if it was for everyone or just me, but...
That's alright. That's why I was trying to keep active on the stream itself, just to show, hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me, guys.
Indeed. But, yeah, so Applesauce triggered the trap, then seeking the hook for cover. Tavion looks like he's about to make progress on this generator. Is this the same one? Is this one of his defensive ones?
It would have to be, yeah. I don't think they'd really care about any of the other gens.
Oh, no. It wasn't one of his free gens, no.
Oh, that's unfortunate then. I thought they were about to have it here.
But as I was saying when I was on my own, he's just being very defensive and just spreading the love without any real emphasis on hooks. So he's already got 8k in the 3 main categories. But now he needs to make progress in terms of downing people and getting them on hooks.
As good as that would be, it's really hard to not slug people when everyone's just constantly swarming the generators. So even the time it would take to pick someone up and put them on a hook, that's honestly almost enough time to get a full generator done. It really does go that fast sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Tavion gets hit.
Yeah.
But I wonder how this is doing for other people's points. We know Apex is sitting pretty for points right now, and everything's a sacrifice. But JT is being chased at the moment. He's got max bonus points already.
I don't know of a game where JT doesn't have max bonus points. But I do notice that Apex is traveling just a little bit farther from the generators every single time.
And none of the other survivors are actually that close to gens right now. Applesauce is being healed by Tavion. JT's breaking away from Apple to suddenly do something and get some of the gens done. Meanwhile, I think he's just taking Jimmy to one of the hooks. Yeah, JT, I think, using that as an opportunity to make progress on another gen. Which one he's making that on, I don't know. Oh, it's the one to the left of Shack, or to the right if you're facing the wall behind the Shack.
Now, I really like that hook that Apex put him on, because that's all the way back in his own personal corner, so it makes it very difficult for anyone to go get the save.
Actually, it was in the opposite corner from his own corner, but yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, my bad then. It looked like it was back
but
in
it
his
looks
corner.
like he might have done that to force at least one of the survivors to go away from his generator corners and give him a bit more breathing space. Applesauce and JT looks like are actually applying more pressure on that particular generator. And applying hits to both JT and Apple.
I mean, that's the play he needs right there.
True, but he's left this generator undefended, and where is Apex? I think there's a glitched out trap. There's like a trap that's just constantly staying up. At least I saw it from JT's perspective, and I think it was giving the false impression that there was a terror radius set. I think what Apex is doing, though, is kind of smart. He's not fully buying into JT's game. JT's just waiting to be chased, but he's got max bonus points already. He just wants to act as the decoy to waste his time. And there you see, I think he's got a glitched out trap that's just staying active. There's a constant phantasm decoy sitting right there.
I see it right there, yeah. That's really unfortunate.
Apple triggers another trap and takes a hit. And he's just making sure that particular trap doesn't get going. But Tavion has started work on the opposite gen. This is a real game of cat and mouse here. Like, he's just constantly having to go from one gen to another in the opposite. No one really cares about the generator and the Shack. That's not important. They realise that working one opposite gen or the other is what's got to be done here.
It really would be a waste of time to try and target the middle generator. It's too much effort to try and keep pressure on it.
And this looks like it's going to be one hell of a game, like in terms of just the length of it, because we've only had, what, 2 people hooked? 3 maybe? I know Jimmy's been hooked once. I know JT was the first one to be hooked. And,
I think the number one thing that's giving Apex the edge in this game is he's so reliable about keeping traps down on the map. And because the Hag's so slow, that's what she needs to do. She needs to keep her little network up, her little spider web of traps everywhere to give her that mobility she needs.
Interesting, he triggered the trap, but Apex just followed Jimmy instead of warping, and he just got the hit anyway. JT is back on the generator and gets hit again and shoot away from that generator by Apex. And for anyone who's wondering what was going on with the Discord, we had a temporary outage. We also experienced one yesterday, it seems, and we had another one just a moment ago, which is why not everyone appears to be in the Discord channel where they should be. But you see, in a pro-pug format like this, it's too risky for even JT or anyone else to go straight back to a generator while in an injured state. Because if you do that, you actually make Apex's game easier. He could apply pressure, but if you take it down, like, you're then going to be on a hook, which is what he wants more than anything now. Like, any points in terms of chasing or setting traps off doesn't really matter for Apex now. He just needs to get the hooks going. And he's doing a really good job of it. I mean, he's doing a good job of really stalling things. But progress needs to be made. He finds Tavion and goes for him instead of Jimmy, who triggered the trap. And Tavion goes down.
This could be the play. Now I'm curious on the status of the other far generator from here.
Oh, now JT, as soon as he noticed that Tavion was being picked up, he went straight for that gen.
There it is.
And Jimmy's going for the middle gen in the shack, which is on top of basement.
That's an interesting play. The only strategy I can see there is that Apex hasn't had to check it all match, so he might not be even thinking about it.
No, but he does have to run right past it, so he can hear when it's being worked on.
So that could be a really risky play, but who knows, if he simply doesn't hear for whatever reason, that could be the saving grace for going for the middle gen.
And JT's signaling to Apple, hey, come heal me. I think he's done that many, many times this game with every survivor. And he gets a hit on Jimmy again, who's still running around with his broken key in hand. But he's committing to the chase on Jimmy. Or not. He's actually allowing Jimmy to run to the harvester. Smashes in that gen. What are JT and Apple doing? Tavion's just hiding. He's not actually working gen at the moment. JT and Apple both know what's got to be done, so they're just constantly applying pressure on that gen. And as soon as they pop it, they could break Apex's power.
That's exactly what they're aiming for.
I'm fairly certain. Apple's also got max boldness. I'm pretty sure they've all got max boldness. JT, oh, he's got the down, but I think he's picking up Jimmy. So Jimmy's going to die here. But they're going to get the generator, and they pop it. And Apple is running towards... He is running towards that, to pop that gen. And I think he wants Apple more than anything. Because Apple... And JT's giving him cover, and Apex tried from too far away to get that.
Very close swing, but near miss.
So really now it's all about what can Apex do in terms of hooks. If he can get any more, that is.
You said Jimmy's dead?
I thought he was, but turns out that was his second hook. Tavion's getting the generator open by the harvester. They're actually getting both gates open. And he's found Tavion, who could not complete the generator being open in time. But he leaves Tavion alone and instead goes for setting a trap.
I don't know if that's really the play here.
Yeah, Tavion's reached the other gate. He honestly would have been better off just following him.
Yeah, as shitty as it can be sometimes you really do need to tunnel that one survivor and then just keep an eye on them. Do not let them get away without trading someone.
I think Apple crossed the gate. Whether he intentionally did that, I don't know. He crossed the line, so he had to commit to the exit, which he did so. I just noticed out of the corner of my eye, he went through and I was wondering, does he want to do that straight away? JT, by the way, is waiting by an open chest where there's also the hatch right behind him.
Well, I really wonder what the objective points for people are this match. Because they're obviously full on boldness. Everyone's got to be full on boldness. I would imagine the same for Altruism, considering how many heals they had to do, how many hits they had to take for each other. But
he's found Tavion.
Objective?
He's found Tavion, but he's next to he's going to run and make it out for an open gate, I believe. And yes. But really, he's actually just defending the one gate that's been close to open, but hasn't yet been opened.
it's more important for the survivors. He figures they'll want to come there. He doesn't know where the hatch is, so it's difficult to break away.
And Tavion is by the open gate, injured still. He doesn't really know whether to go. Oh, JT has been found and hit. But I don't think Apex has got any traps to sort of cut them off on the route to the open exit gate. So he's not taking any chances. JT, meanwhile, looks as though he's running towards there. And Tavion's gone back round to open the gate and finish it, and he has done. And it goes down, though! Oh, goodness me.
Ooh.
He did the heroic effort of opening the gate. But is this Tavion's death hook? JT's gone out. And Jimmy is... What is Jimmy's plan of action? It looks like he's making it out of the other gate.
So no one took the hatch.
Oh no, Tavion's not dead. That's his second hook.
Ooh. Now that's a hard call. Jimmy is the one left in the match. He really doesn't need the altruism points for saving him. But because he's a fill-in, might you want to do it purely so Tavion can get a slightly better score? And it looks like this might be the case on my end.
Oh!
There's the farm.
Oh my god, that was a weird bit of lag right there. And he's blocked from using the window there. Oh, and he's got a trap in, but... Oh, what a great juke by Jimmy, but he does eventually go down. Oh, and now he's got to get these people on hooks and then get them killed. So it does look as though... Apex is going to get 2 kills out of this.
Very nice. How many hooks was that in total? That was, what, 6 or 7?
He hooked JT first, didn't he? So there's at least 7, I believe. And yeah, he's hooking. He's going to go and hook him right now. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is going to be either 28,900 or 29,600 points.
It's one of those two.
It's 29,600 points for Apex.
It's a very good hag game. Now, I have seen better, but against a team of survivors like this, I can't imagine giving a better score. Very nice score for JT. I saw a perfect score for a survivor, 29,000.
Oh, actually, that was Applesauce who scored 29k. JT got 27,087. Tavion got 23,165 points. Jimmy, who died, got 18,009 points. Well, Tavion died as well, but still got 23k. So that's a great game there. For I mean, that was quite a challenging survivor lineup, in all fairness. So the fact that Apex dealt with that, plus playing a killer he's not really used to playing because it doesn't really fit his usual style, I guess, is still quite a very good result with 29.6k points. Oh, Junrei is going Doctor for this one on one of the smallest maps of the game. This could have some real effect here. So we see Applesauce working with someone else, which I believe Tavion, yes, Tavion and Applesauce working on the same gen. And it looks like Junrei's already spotted Jimmy. He's already got JT as well, going into Tier 1 Madness, but I think he's particularly after Jimmy, or was? But now is changing his mind. Oh, and he's caught Applesauce and Tavion both Tier 1s too, so he kind of knows where everyone is already. JT, meanwhile, working another gen while he's not in the terror radius. And looks like he's landing shock attacks on Applesauce. He did get a pallet stun on him. And he's not far away from being Tier 3, is Apple. Jimmy thought he was being chased then up the harvester, but I think someone else has got Junrei's eye right now. And that's Apple in Tier 3 Madness. But Junrei not pursuing up on that. JT cleansing a totem. Tavion still working a gen. For some reason he wants still wants to chase Jimmy. He's just looping him around. And surely Jimmy, he's already in tier 3 madness.
Maybe following deviousness, he's already almost at 3/4.
And he's now switching his attention to JT again, who's just narrowly avoiding these shock attacks, but only barely. And that's JT up into tier 2 madness, and now up into tier 3. But JT, despite being shocked, is knowing when to run around the windows. And Junrei, at the moment, he's only landed like 1 hit, hasn't he? Or even, I don't even think he's landed that. Now, finally he lands a hit on Tavion. JT, meanwhile, was snapping out of it, not too far away from Junrei's Doctor. Apple is working another gen. Tavion reunites with Apple. Jimmy's working a separate generator on his own. Looks as though Junrei is constantly switching targets, but not really making any major progress in terms of downing someone. I don't know if this is something he's picking up on from Apex and how he played Hag just now. And JT just cheekily resetting the thing and making sure it's not regressing anymore, but jukes a hit from Junrei. And Junrei needs to be careful here because he's putting a lot of time into trying to get a swing on JT.
Now, I think instead of taking a note from Apex Hag game, excuse me, he really needs to take a note from his third match when he played Doctor, because that was a very, very good Doctor play. Now, we didn't see a lot of shock attacks, going out consistently, but he got enough, and that's all he needed. Other than that, he just went for the swings and just kept getting the swings over and over and over. That's what really kept the survivors at bay.
He's getting shock attacks, no problem, so he's got quite a bit of deviousness, but he's just not getting many hits in. And it's kind of really putting him in a bad way, because he's only got 2 gens left to protect now. Or 2 gens remaining, at least, before the exit gates power up. And I don't know, I just find it peculiar that he's playing a Doctor, but just hasn't really exerted enough map control, bizarrely enough. I'm trying to get a read on where his remaining generators are placed. He's got 2 on each side of the map, so he hasn't got a 3-gen strat anymore. Even if he was hoping on having one, he's just not got any map control left anymore.
Well, honestly, he actually has a really, really poor bit of luck right now playing after Apex, when he gave these survivors so much time to practice their coordination with or without comms. So, honestly, Junrei really, really needs to step up the bar and play above Apex and even have a chance at getting even an equivalent score.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, I know, I've watched Junrei play many times. I mean, I love the guy a lot. Like, he's always a funny guy, you know, always have fun playing with him. And I know we see him play better than what we're seeing him play right now. It's just, I don't know, I'm just amazed that he's playing Doctor, but just hasn't got as much map control as you'd expect from someone playing Doctor.
Especially on such a small map, like you said.
Indeed. So he's now chasing Tavion, who almost dodged the shock attack. And it looks like he's going to be leading Junrei through the abattoir.
Now, one thing I've noticed from my recent experience when playing Wraith, with these mind game killers, you really need to bounce around between survivors. So with Doctor, like Apex showed us a couple of matches ago, you really need to just shock someone, hit them, and move on. Put them up in tier 2 or tier 3 madness, get a hit on them. That'll burn so much time, them snapping out of it, and then having them have someone heal them. That wastes so much time right there. So that's the way you really need to play him, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's still chasing Tavion around this abattoir. Eventually, Tavion breaks off, but has got the cover of a pallet now. And Tavion knowing to run away after the shock attack. Oh, he may have made a mistake there. And finally he gets Tavion down. Now, I wonder... actually, he's not on the right side for a... to get to the basement, which is in the abattoir. So he's going to take him to the hut, which is underneath the tree with the hanging cows. And he notices someone there. It's Jimmy, who he gets a hit on. Tavion has been released. And Jimmy does put down the pallet for safety. It was just running rings around this tree. And I think Jinrei is just incredibly frustrated with this performance right now. I think he's just chasing for the survivors and just racking up like hunter points and brutality points, whatever else. But he has spotted a hallucination. There's 3 survivors in that shack that you can see from his view. Applesauce is there. Jimmy looks as though he's about to go down, and he does. Jinrei is now switching his side. Oh, he could have actually got a hit on JT there if he just committed a bit more. I think Jinrei is well aware that they've got full control over the gens. They've got them 99, so really now they're just playing for points instead of committing to gen pop and getting the Exus open. Oh, what a great juke there by JT, just narrowly avoiding that hit. Almost scuffed his neck. Oh, he somehow missed that hit on Tavion, who just made it through the window in time. And there we see again Jinrei's classic patience, waiting for the survivors to make the little dance, then going for the hit.
There you go, dude. That's the play.
And Apple smartly breaking away from that pallet formation to avoid the shock attack. And the applesauce goes down. Even though JT and Jimmy are nearby for cover, or trying to anyway, Jimmy takes the hit. And he notices someone there. And everyone's just taking hits now. Tavion runs in for the hit. There's a hook right there, though. So it's really only getting to delay the inevitable in terms of Apple taking the hook. And JT takes a hit as well. He's got max hunter points already, has Jinrei. He's well in over 5k in terms of deviousness. Apple pulled down the pallet, even though Jinrei completely faked him out. And Jimmy is now being put on a hook. I think this is his second now. Yes, it is. So if they fear for their safety, they might start popping the gens. However, they are aware that Jimmy is not actually... His points don't really matter because he's a filler. And he spots JT again. And he spots Apple again. And he gets a combo attack on Apple. Gets a hit onto Tavion, who does a 1-for-1. Starting to rack up the points now is Jinrei, just simply by what is essentially forced camping. Like, he's there, and so is every other survivor in the map. They're sort of taking it to him now that they've got all the gens ready to be popped. And Jinrei isn't even bothering regressing the gens, and I think that's probably the right thing to do now in this given scenario. Tavion goes down again. Jinrei picks up more points, brutality and deviousness for that combo attack, plus the hit itself. And he's just now chasing JT around. I think he's trying to get the bloodlust going. And I think he's conscious that if he hooks Tavion again, that, oh, he just wasn't close enough to Apple, who then baits him again by going through the pallet and connecting the stun. They're starting to pop the gens now. And they are doing so. The exit gates are powered up. Junrei gets a hit on Applesauce. And where is Applesauce going to go? Oh, he's going to go down the aisle. Oh, he's got... I think he's going to get Apple to tier 3. Mind you, this is where basement is, so if something happens to Apple here, this could be a real problem for the survivors. Especially if they're looking for more altruism points and they're having to go into the basement with a doctor present.
This could actually be really fatal for Applesauce, because if Junrei gets the bloodlust up, he could easily take Applesauce out here.
Oh, he cleared the pallet just before that screen kicked in. He's just using every window he's got. Oh no, he could go down here. He goes down right in front of the basement entrance. This could be a key pivotal play for both the survivors and for Junrei right now.
Ooh, hey-oh.
And rightfully so, Junrei opts to put Apple on the back hook.
Absolutely on the back hook. How long did he run him around for?
Well, he reaps what he sows. That is Apple's second hook as well, so the survivors don't have much time. 2 survivors getting shot through that window. He could have actually hit Jimmy for that. If he wanted to. They're all going in. Are they all actually going in? Yes, JT's going in for the rescue.
Blocks.
He should really shock him, I think, to be honest, but it depends on...
Shocking him might be the right play. Now, I know it cancels you from throwing pallets and jumping windows, but does it also cancel you from saving people off the hook?
JT's trying to snap out of it in the middle of the basement. This could go all horribly wrong if the survivors are not careful. Now he missed a hit, and Tavion's hiding there too. I don't think he wants to commit to a hook because he knows he'll kill one, but one will get away too.
Personally, I would hook the person trying to climb up the stairs. You still have the bait of one person down there.
He's hooking Jimmy instead.
Really? I don't know if that's the play. Maybe Junrei just wants to get someone out of the way.
And Tavion takes the hit as well. Now, is JT nearby? That's the big question. He is in the abattoir. He was looking to get that thing, and he knows that, or Junrei knows that if he kills Apple now, the other 2 survivors are just going to book him for the exit. So, and he's got Apple on tier 3 madness, so that's essentially like a free built-in form of Deerstalker from any range. Oh, and JT mistimed the... He mistimed the bait, tried the pallet stun. Oh, this is going to be JT's first hook, isn't it?
Possibly so. Now he could take JT to the basement right here if he chooses to. He's not, I see on my end.
And what's great is that this is authentic gameplay, because Apple was in a really sticky situation where he knew he was practically on top of the basement, was already injured, and was trying to avoid being hit. And all of this stems from the fact that he generally succeeded in getting Apple into the basement, and people were trying to be altruistic and trying to get him free. Now, Applesauce is being healed up by Tavion. They're both out of tier 3 madness. JT, though, is still hanging up a hook on the other side of the map from those 2. And he's found them again. It looks like he's going to go for the hit on Tavion.
If he can get one of them into stage 3, he should be good to go to chase the other.
No, he's hitting Tavion down.
Okay.
And getting Tavion on his last hook, I believe.
Tavion was about to leave, and if he had broke off, then Tavion would have just crawled out, so that's probably the smart play right there.
That's Tavion's death hook, and Applesauce has not reached JT yet. But Junrei smartly is going to cut them off, or try to, by going ahead straight for the exit gate. What is... Okay, JT and Apple both still in that part of the map. And Apple is the one who is taking the hatch is there as well. So there is incentive. Oh, but JT could go down here again. There's no pallet. Oh, what a 360 juke in such a tight situation. JT escaped that one. Will he escape this one? Oh no, Junrei's right there. But he can't use that window anymore. The entity's blocked it off. I don't think he's got anywhere else to go. And he goes down. Oh, he tried going in the closet, but it seemed a bit laggy there.
Ooh, there was a little bit of
Now,
lag.
does Apple in some way know that the hatch is there, and does he allow JT to have it?
Based on the positioning, I would believe that he knows the hatch is there, but he probably also figures that if he leaves now, JT is just going to take the hook, considering Junrei's right there.
JT is on top of the hatch, recovering. I think he's probably screaming at the monitor, saying, Apple, please, for the love of God, just leave.
Now, JT only took one hook so far, correct? He can take a second hook?
He can take a second hook, but Junrei's got no way of knowing for certain whether that's going to keep him in. Now he has to pick up Junrei. Sorry, he has to pick up JT because he's right there by the exit gate.
Absolutely.
And he's going to put him on Pride Rock hook. I think he's looking to do it. He is.
Oh my goodness. Now, even one body block here could get JT out of the map, so this is a really precarious location to put him on hook.
Oh, Apple's going for the quick hook. And funnily enough, he's there at the other side of the hill. JT's considering snapping out of it, but JT doesn't really... He can't really be thinking about doing that. He is running and making way for the abattoir. Oh goodness, is he going to get out in time, I wonder? Oh, there is a part there. He could probably get out. Yeah, he does at least put the part down for cover. He can't take the risk of doing any sort of bluffs there. And it looks as though he's got JT pinned. JT's making a break for it. He could actually make it out. And yeah, and he knows it. He's now going for Apple. Who's going to make it out too, I believe. Actually, or is he? No, he's fainted him. Junrei's lost him. He's lost track of Apple, who's just going to run for the hatch.
Oh my goodness.
To think that Apple was the one who got caught in that exit gate phase in the basement. And was the one who almost died because of it. Applesauce scoring 29,741 points. JT with 24,736. Tavion with 18,722. And Jimmy with 18,715. With Junrei coming in with 30,415 points. Mikkel also picks Doctor.
Let's see how he does compared to Junrei's Doctor. Maybe he can make a faster start, but the problem is the faster the killer starts, the faster the survivors are ready to get out.
Indeed. One of the survivors could already hear him. Trap Queen and... who was that? Applesauce. Trap Queen getting a combo attack already. Oh, and she put the pallet down on the wrong end, but Mikkel didn't expect it. She got back out of that one. Somehow, but she goes down to a combo attack. Wow. She almost got away with that, did Trap Queen right there.
This is not a good start for Trap Queen.
Indeed, yeah, she's only just taken back her rightful position that she was supposed to have assumed from the very beginning of this round, so it was actually Jimmy who was subbing for her. An Apple... very strange hook rescue animation. Kind of freed Trap Queen from the hook without using his hands. If my eyes are not deceiving me there.
Oh, I think that's that new meta right there.
Yeah. JT is about to pop a gen. And so is Tavion. JT, they're leaving at 99 so he can heal Trap Queen. Mikkel, meanwhile, is pursuing Applesauce, who is looping him around. And he puts the pallet down to delay Mikkel even further before he could follow up with the combo attack, or before it could deprive Applesauce of his ability to even interact with the pallet. Oh, a great feint attempt by Apple, but Mikkel was equal to it and lands the hit. Fortunately for Apple, that was his first hit and not his second, because otherwise that could have been a disastrous thing. And Trap Queen taking the shock while operating the generator and a combo attack to follow up. Trap Queen probably not having fully woken up so far, but Mikkel knows that JT's there and he resets the gen, stops the regression. Oh, and he tried to reset it again. Tried to stop it. But JT is just running around. I think he's going to do it again. Now Mikkel is allowing JT to consume a lot of his time. Gets the pallet stunned as JT. They got a gen in the middle of the avatar, almost 99. And JT is now at tier 3 madness. But Mikkel repeatedly shocking him. Now I can understand if that was the case. Oh, and he gets a pallet stun. And JT just taunting Mikkel for that. The other 3 survivors are actually together looking to work gens. And look at they are, the line of Claudettes all following each other. You can see it from Mikkel's view. He's going to regress that gen, and now he's going to try and focus his attention on a Claudette instead of a Jake. And he finds Trap Queen again. Sorry, yeah, Trap Queen it is. And she gets shocked and can't use the pallet, but gets a stun and then goes back on the other side. Tavion and JT both cleansing totems. They haven't popped a gen yet though, so technically speaking, he can't really put Trap Queen on a... Oh, and JT tried a 360 juke, didn't work out though, he takes a hit. So Mikkel finally gets the ball rolling on JT. Can he follow it up though and get him down? And there is an awkward tree there, but it doesn't really block Survivor or Killer from running around that jungle gym. Oh, now he could have actually gone for a hit on Tavion in his view there, could Mikkel, but opted to break the pallet, which JT dropped out of as a precaution. Applesauce and Trap Queen working on a generator in the middle of the map. Tavion coming by to work on it too, but he might be a little bit too late to the fun. JT has gone down. Mikkel somewhere outside of our view outfoxing JT around that jungle gym. And now gets JT on a hook alive. So again, kind of similar to Jin Ray's game, he's not really making a very fast start, with the exception of like Trap Queen going down really early. Oh, and he thought Trap Queen was going to be closer to the pallet, but she actually kept her distance pretty smartly. And Trap Queen goes down. Now she can be hooked again because JT's just been hooked at last. And I might be mistaken, but wasn't there a hook right behind Mikkel?
There might have been, based on the density when he was looking around. That would probably be the case.
There was a hook right behind him. He could have saved himself so much time.
That's unfortunate for him.
JT coming up to secure the altruism points for the hook rescue on Trap. Trap Queen now in danger as she is on her death hook. But it seems like they're 99ing all the gens before popping a single one. Trap Queen again being found by Mikkel. And right on top of basement as well. Now Mikkel's got to be careful here because he's allowed to down her again, but no one else has been hooked yet. But he has spotted someone else in his view. That was Tavion, the one who's searching for the chest, and Tavion's got a flashlight in his hand. So it was actually a smart idea not to do anything. Oh, but the gen's just been popped. And Trap Queen needs to be careful because now all the rules going tunneling are off the table. Tavion does go down though. Trap Queen gets back up, she's still in tier 3 madness, but Tavion with the flashlight is the next one to go down, and he is going to be placed on a hook. So that's Tavion's first hook. I think he's aware that people are there. He finds JT again, he does take the shock attack. Apple takes the hit, and then Apple, as a precaution, puts the pallet down. I think JT would not have appreciated that pallet's just been used so quickly like that. I remember him and Apple being at slight odds with each other post-game because of how unconservative Applesauce was with the pallets in the same games. Now Applesauce is getting fully healed back up, and Tavion is now receiving the same kind of treatment, but they're also getting treatment being in the radius of the doctor. Or at least they were until... Who is he trying to shove now? Applesauce being gifted the flashlight by Tavion. It's only a yellow one, but still better than nothing. Like, Applesauce can use that to get some flashlight saves. I think Tavion probably doesn't feel that confident about saving people with a flashlight. Maybe he's handing it to the first person he saw who could probably do a good job of it, and that just probably happens to be Apple. I know you don't you say yourself, no, that you seem to struggle with oh, JT I think made a slight error, then tried to make up for it by doing a window juke by crouching below.
I see that.
Mikkel's doctor, but Mikkel was wise to it. And that's JT's second hook.
This could start to turn bad if they don't start popping the gens. That's how many people in Death Hook? At least 2, I think. JT, Trap Queen, I don't know about anyone else. I think Applesauce is only on 1.
Well, Apple was being the next one to be found. He's at tier 3 madness, takes a hit. He's got the flashlight as well, so I think Mikkel really wants to target him as the next hook. But they're running through most areas now where they don't have to pass, and the screen prevented him from... Oh no! The screen prevented him from taking the window! It delayed him, and Mikkel missed the first hit. But then he blocked the window that Apple tried going through and followed it with a hit that succeeded. That's on top of the basement. Apple is now in the basement.
That's unfortunate.
There's a gen being worked on, and JT pops it, so now there are 2 gens remaining. And does Mikkel really have like an actual generator strategy open to him? It looks like JT's on his second hook.
He is. Next time he gets hooked, he's dead. Same with Trap Queen, and at this point, same with Applesauce. Now, what's the status?
Crucially for him, JT wasn't affected by a shock attack. He wasn't spotted at first, but he gets through the window before Mikkel could really reach him. Got him with a shock attack, and he's in tier 3 madness. But Tavion is the one currently being pursued. Applesauce has been rescued by Trap Queen.
Trap Queen absolutely needs those points if she wants any chance in this competition here.
Indeed, yes, she needs to survive as well. And Tavion still being chased. He can't use the pallet because of his shot. And he goes down. He already has max brutality, does Mikkel. and Tavion's crawling on a pallet. Apple is close by for any type of rescue available to him, flashlight or pallet. But I think he knows he's there. Like, JT has finally got back to the generator inside the abattoir. Oh, takes a hit on Apple, who was being a little bit reckless there, but gets the pallet stone for retribution. Picks up Tavion, facing the hay bale. That's a smart decision. Taking Tavion into basement now.
Now, it's actually really unfortunate that Applesauce threw that pallet, because that was the one thing keeping Tavion from being picked up there.
JT now healing Applesauce. Trap Queen trying to heal, but she's still in tier 3 madness.
Everyone's on Death Hook now, 2 gens left.
Actually, I think Apple's the only one who's not on Death Hook.
No, I believe he's been hooked twice also.
I think we're about to see that he's... I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised if he's on his Death Hook this next one, but... I'm pretty sure this is his second hook. I don't remember him being on a second hook.
Guess I'll find out.
I know the others have, definitely. They're all on their Death Hooks. There's no question about that. Apple, I think he's the last one. Yeah, that is his second hook, so...
Okay, let's count on my part.
You are lagging out a bit there, nerd. Yeah, I think you're lagging out. I might be lagging out as well. Apologies, folks. I think there might be something wrong with Discord. I don't know if I sound any better or not, or whether you sound any better. I'm having trouble hearing you, Nerd, because you sound robotic as hell.
How can you hear me right now?
Oh, now you sound clear. It's fine now.
Okay, I was just about to close my Discord because I realized you sounded robotic on my end. Apparently I sounded robotic on your end. I was just about to restart my Discord to make it all better, but good thing we didn't have to.
Yeah, according to my stream, I apparently sounded fine, but you didn't. But that could just be a localized client-side thing as well, just because it's on my desktop too that this is being streamed and recorded, so don't know of 100% certainty. But anyway, one gen has been popped, one more remains. Apple is working a generator that hasn't actually been touched, or at the very least has been regressed, but hasn't been taken to 99 at all this game. And even though Trap Queen's trying to be bait to help JT out, Mikkel wants JT particularly. I think Mikkel's one of those types of killers where he's content by getting everyone on a hook twice, and then he starts to have fun, like really have fun. JT did a really good job there of dodging that shock attack, but that one he did connect. And Trap Queen narrowly dodging that shock attack. Mikkel's already got max Hunter and Brutality points.
So now it just needs deviousness and hook, correct?
Indeed, yeah. Well, Tavion's actually sabotaging a hook. He's only got 3/4 of a circle on his boldness. Now it's more than that, because he actually picked up a Commodious toolbox. So Tavion's been a real looter and plunderer this game. He's found a flashlight, gifted it to Apple. He's now found a Commodious somewhere too. Because JT and Apple are right on top of a 99 gen though, and Mikkel's nowhere to be seen. Apple's just healing JT. They've got to pop this surely, and they do. Now, I don't know how Mikkel is doing for deviousness. If he's already got 8k deviousness, at the very least, he's already matching Apex's score with the hag performance it is. Now, Apple has found the hatch. He's already found the hatch, and Apple, so far, he's actually outscoring JT this round, in terms of total, or average score at least. Tavion opening the back gate just behind the abattoir. Mikkel having more fun with JT, who tried to do a feint with the window by not going through it at the last second, but Mikkel is usually pretty good at reading things like that. And he knows he plays quite often with JT when they play Survivors, so he should be familiar by now with the way how JT works. But he's very keenly interested in getting JT down, who is running over hatch, and JT goes down with a rank of bloodlust as well. Picks up JT.
It's just gonna kill him off here. That could be detrimental to JT's score.
Absolutely could be, and I mean, it's well, Trap Queen, it was hiding around the hatch. Apple's cleansing more totems. He hasn't actually got 8k boldness. And I think he's just getting more deviousness. See a little sparkle of electricity emanating from Trap's feet as she runs away for dear life away from the doctor. But it looks like she's going to be caught up here. Tries a juke, does not work out for her. And Mikkel is picking her up. Apple tries to go for the... Oh, he got the flashlight save!
Miguel's got to be kicking himself here. If he had just turned the other way, he might have been okay.
Oh yeah, he's actually got max deviousness already due to the flashlight evasion scoring event that just popped up. So he's got 30,300 points, has Mikkel, for that performance. But anyway, Applesauce got 27,832 points, Tavion 22,356 points, Trap Queen 22,205 points, and JT with a lower score because he died, 20,429 points. Costco is going to play Hillbilly.
This could be very interesting because there's a lot of open area for him to run around in, but at the same time there's also a lot of very closed off area. Now I think he actually got very unlucky with the spawn here based on the fact I just saw so many trees just in his one run through the map. There's a lot of tree tiles in this map. This could be detrimental to the Hillbilly or detrimental to the survivors if they know or not how to use them properly against a Hillbilly.
And he's found JT, who I think got sandbagged a little by... Who was that? Was that Tavion? It was. Oh, and Tavion almost got smacked in the face with a hammer, but puts the part down at the very last millisecond and saves himself from being hit. Apple and Trap Queen working again together. JT reunites with them to get the heal. Tavion got hit somewhere in that jungle gym. He's now making a break for the abattoir. I've got to say, like, I think it's a wise idea for Costco to practice the Hillbilly because the Hillbilly gets a lot of points and he's also one of the strongest killers in the game. And he is up against a strong survivor lineup here, especially with JT and Applesauce in the same lineup. So, just based on who he's playing against, you know, I think the Hillbilly is the right decision. However, this is a really small map by the standards of most other maps in Dead by Daylight. And I'm not sure whether it would probably be wiser to save Hillbilly if he hasn't played it already for a map where there's more ground and more distance to cover when going from objective to objective or chasing one survivor to another, you know?
Mm-hmm. You do have you did label it out pretty well. My only concern is that I know for a fact JT knows how to play the Hillbilly and conversely knows how to play against a Hillbilly. So this could be bad for Costco if he chooses to target JT. I believe Applesauce is in the same basic boat. He knows how to counter that chainsaw very effectively, so this could be a hard match for Costco.
And while my view was on Costco, I noticed in the left-hand side of his vision, I could see Applesauce crouched by the generator, and Costco did not recognize. He, in fact, steered to the right to go past more generators and jungle gyms. which is another example, like, you know, if you're playing Hillbilly and you're going at such speed, you kind of have to have a sharp eye in terms of noticing things at the last second and then knowing when to stop or when to curve towards them. Now, the first gen has been popped, and that was the same gen which Costco failed to spot applesauce hiding by. And JT has found a standard, rather crappy brown toolbox, but he's using it right now to make some further progress on the generator he's operating solo at the moment. Trap Queen found a Commodious somewhere and is using it to sabotage a hook for bonus points. Which, I'm going to be honest, I do feel as though toolboxes used on hooks is kind of a better investment in terms of points. Because at some point, you're going to be meeting up with others to work on the generators anyway for the core points, and they'll get regress, and you can work on them again to top them back up. So that's fine, but there's no guarantee in games that you'll... It's even less of a guarantee compared to objective that you'll get 8k objective. Therefore, if I had a toolbox in my hands, I think I'd rather be saving it for the hooks, in my personal estimation. However, I mean, JT is the reigning Survivor champion of the Bloodbath, so I'm fairly certain he knows what he's doing with that toolbox, even if he's using it on a generator. Costco, by the way, chasing Apple, who does put down a pallet at the last second, but Costco did not run into it. So, I know JT, for one, is very particular about how conservative or unconservative survivors are with their pallets. So, when he sees wasted pallets, it really does tick him off quite considerably.
It is, and it can actually be kind of entertaining at times just to play a match with him. And if you know the game is certain, it can be entertaining to just throw pallets over and over just to get him going. I've done that once or twice. It's entertaining.
Well, okay, I'm not really entirely sure what Costco is doing at the moment. He's bashing in gens, doing mini chainsaw sprints in the middle of the map. He's not really committing that much to any one survivor. Again, he's not really learning from how JT is outmaneuvering him. He's just going for lunges when he's not close enough. The slightest base, and it's enough to throw Costco off and go for hits where he doesn't really need to go for them at all. And now he's just chainsawing to another part of the map where he finds a gen at 99%, but it's too late because whoever was on that one, and I think it was Tavion, is now like vacated the premises there. Tavion, Applesauce, and JT, all three working on the same generator in the middle of the map. Oh, and Trap Queen didn't know that Costco was coming up right behind her. She goes down to a chainsaw, a long distance one at that.
That's unfortunate right there. She probably heard the heartbeat and the chainsaw, and she's just like, where, wham!
And it looks like they're all running up for the rescue here. JT, Apple, they're all doing it. And he gets a hammer hit on JT at least to get him bleeding. And oh my goodness! Trap Queen almost sandbagged JT so hard, left him up there on the same side as Costco.
Oh man.
He just got
He
ahead.
just pointed at her. Oh, he's not happy at all.
I think, I couldn't see it from Trap Queen's view, but I think she wasn't looking behind her and just assumed Costco was going to hit her. And just in a panic, put down the pallet. But Tavion has gone down, already being carried to a hook. And that's his first hook as well.
Well, in all reality, these are these survivors' first chances to get altruism points, so they're probably going to... They're going to be biting at the bits to try and get these points.
And it looks like Costco just passed by. Who is he actually chasing? If anyone. No, he's just going, zooming back and forth between generators and stomping them at the moment. He's not really locked onto any particular survivor right now. And JT is just standing in the same spot and just probably questioning himself what on earth Costco is doing right now. Oh, Trap Queen has been found again, though. She's almost out of charge completely on her Commodious. And Costco's going for the chainsaw. He doesn't know where to point. He's lost track of him before he's fully read the chainsaw. Oh, and a great pallet stun by Trap Queen on Costco there. He went for the line, she saw it coming, she got there in time.
Very nice indeed.
And we're now 1 gen remaining. Costco sees JT on top of the harvester. And he baits Costco, who looks as though he's... No, he's not on Bloodlust. He looked like he was moving a bit fast there. Tavion has popped the last gen. I don't know how people are doing for points. But he's already heading over to where... You could sense someone was eyeing there, and I think he's found Tavion. Yes, it's Tavion. But Costco did not see him attempting the reverse power stun. Tavion did telegraph it there a little, but Costco did not have the eye to see it. But he does run into him head first and get a hit before Tavion does get the pallet stun. Oh, and he spots Apple there trying to open the gate. Just shoos him away, but Costco doesn't have that many points, or at least not in Hunter, and certainly not in Deviousness. I'm actually curious as to how the others are doing for points right now. Like, Apple's the one who's leading this round, technically. So, I kind of want to see what he's doing for points. He doesn't have that many. Oh! Apple had a very bizarre pallet stun. He landed it, but was still on the same side as Costco, who didn't land that hit, and now JT's been hit. But these guys need to be a bit careful, because we have been talking about a state lately where games after the exit gate period begins tend to get extended for a little too long. So the survivors need to be wary of that. It was announced in one of the official posts, both on the Steam group and the Discord. And Costco is so confused, he doesn't know when to let go of the chainsaw, he doesn't know when to start revving it. Apple managed to sort of use the flaming barrel there to throw Costco off. And Apple's found somewhere found an emergency med kit.
He found that at some point a while ago. I don't know when either, but if he could just take a hammer hit and then break out, he could get some survival points for himself by using it.
Well, to be fair to the survivors, they are trying to get this exit gate open, and Costco's just shooing them away. I mean, he has got a chainsaw to threaten them with.
Chainsaw is kind of menacing, I can agree.
Yeah. I mean, they've got the other gate open. Apple's just... I don't know if he's aware that the other gate may be open. Oh, JT narrowly missing a hit there. We only just saw a glimpse of it, of his attempt there, but JT did not get injured in that, so he cleared the window in time. And JT just touching this lever again and again. JT just taunting Costco.
He just wants him to take the hit so he could get the stun. That's exactly all that was.
Still trying to wait for an opportunity to get this gate open. JT finally gets back to it. I think Costco is going board. But they're not committed. They're not really going for the exit.
Now, I don't fully understand. When do we start saying, all right, you guys are staying in the match, you need to get out? How does that system work?
Well, that's really going to be something that's, you know, if we feel it's necessary, it's going to be reviewed. And JT jukes a chainsaw attempt there from Costco. But if both gates are open, and if the survivors are aware of that, then really the time to go out is, like, now.
I do understand the desire to get more points, but this is starting to go on a bit long.
Well, Tavion's committed to the exit. He's out. He took a hit. He almost took a chainsaw, but Costco didn't fully rev up.
If he were dedicated, he could have had that.
I'm wondering if, how are they doing for points, really? Like, Apple didn't have that much in boldness the last time I saw him. Does take a hit. Now, he has to be careful here. He does go through the window. JT is looming. Oh, he wasn't close enough on that lunge. But Applesauce goes down. And Costco's got max Hunter points. And he's going for the hook that's right next to an open exit gate.
Maybe he's relying on the chainsaw.
Or Trap Queen moved away at the right time there. Taking a hit, trying to body block, but honestly, if he's going on the hook anyway, it's kind of in vain. JT going for the hook rescue. And for some reason, he seems to have real trouble committing to the chainsaw, except he gets it on JT this time. With a hook right there too. So JT kind of didn't really produce a juke, then Costco just landing it. Now they got to be careful, because if they are going to go back for JT. Oh, he missed Trap Queen, who just got over the window in time. And I don't think anyone committed to the exit. Applesauce is still hiding there. JT has reunited with Trap Queen. Oh, Trap Queen nicely just juking that chainsaw attempt. I think Costco's using this as a game to get his practice on that chainsaw. It looks like he sorely needed it. Apples was getting a cheeky pallet stun. Costco not realizing he was there. So he's already got max boldness, Apple. He hasn't got max altruism though. Well, that's probably why he's staying in the game. Well, JT certainly needs healing. Oh, and Trap Queen's still not committing to the exit. And he was too late there, but oh no, Trap Queen's gone down a dead end. She went down a dead end not realizing that window's actually boarded up.
That's unfortunate. I kind of wish Costco had gone for the chainsaw there. There's a very high chance he could have had it.
Yeah, Costco doesn't even have 5k deviousness at the moment, so he's still not feeling that confident with the chainsaw. And unless Trap Queen's got a pallet nearby, which she hasn't, I think she's going to go down to another hammer hit. She tries a juke, but doesn't work. Apple is nearby. He needs max altruism points still, so this is a great opportunity for him. JT, on the other hand, still needs to be healed. And Costco goes past both of them. He's got max altruism though, has Apple. Now, if he's good for points, if he's already got max objective, he's got no real reason to stay in any longer. I mean, with a hillbilly looming, I sure as hell wouldn't want to take the risk. I just take the 5k survival and make sure I get 29k.
Absolutely. Well, he's going to get higher than 29k because he got a self-care on himself at some point. His medkit's been used a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but oh, JT made a mistake position-wise, and he's gone down. This is going to be JT's second hook. So that is JT's second hook. I mean, these survivors are taking quite a huge risk here by doing what they're doing.
They really are. Do we know what Tapion's points were before he got out?
I haven't checked yet. I'd rather not back out of it to just wait until the end. I know usually what happens when the survivors are the first ones to bail out that early during a game like this. They don't usually have that many points compared to the others. Like the others sort of stay alive, you know, as long as they can and try and commit. Now Apple is looming by an exit. Is he thinking of going? Well, he's not actually going for the hook rescue on JT. Oh no, Trap Queen's gone down! JT could die here!
Ooh, that's not good.
I think Apple's too far away from JT.
Well, even honestly, if I was Applesauce, I wouldn't even go back because that's a lot of
Yeah,
points.
he's committed to the exit. They're both dead. Apple, like, was hanging by the exit, not really in a rush to go over to JT, and Trap Queen was on her last death hook as well.
Well, I wonder if Applesauce thought that, you know, Trap Queen was gonna go back, get the save, and then, you know, have it play out from there. But the fact that she got chainsawed, he probably wasn't exactly anticipating that.
Absolutely. So Costco as a filler got 25,886 points for that. Applesauce got 29,297, JT with 23,336, Tavion with 22,332, and I couldn't see the last bit because Costco entered the lobby pretty early, but
I hope someone got the screenshot.
yeah, well, it's on. But anyway, but I think it was ANUJ got something like 17,000 something points.
Okay.
But that does conclude Game 17. Boy, what a game we had.
That was intense. I like that comeback at the end. Applesauce really threw himself ahead of JT this round. Probably came back by a couple thousand points on average, so he's going to be closing that gap to catch up with JT.
Yeah, if you think about it, his lowest single score that entire game was something like 27,800 points, was it? That was his lowest. Every other game he was scoring 29k or more.
Yeah, so he's probably going to be sitting somewhere around 28.5 or something like that. Probably a little bit higher, maybe.
I think it's going to be higher than 28.5, personally. Like, he got 29.7 in one, and I think he got 29.3 in that one. So, yeah.
It'd be closer to like 28.75 or something like that. It's still, that's really high. That's a very, very, very good play by Applesauce. Just, I can't describe how good of a play that is. That's almost a perfect score every single match. Almost a perfect score on average. That's insane.
Indeed. And I think he's still behind JT in the standings after that, but he has clawed back the deficit somewhat, for sure.
He is. Before this match, he was about 8,500 points behind. But now, catching up by at least 2,000 points, probably a little bit more than that. That's going to close that deficit severely. That's probably going to be, that's amazing right there. How much he clawed back in one match.
JT, I don't think his highest score that entire round, I think, was like 27,000, like 27.0k. And, like, he died in 2 games. Like, one of them was like 20k, and that was against Mikkel, and the other one against Costco just now. He died, but got like 23k. So, it's quite possible that Applesauce could have clawed back as much as anywhere to around, I'd
say 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, at least 4, maybe even 5,000 or 6,000 points he's made up there.
JT's not going to be happy about this.
No, it's not. I mean, suddenly the lead of a Survivor bracket is becoming a close affair. If somehow Applesauce can carry up that form where he's just played now, where if suddenly he can start producing more 28, 29k average scores per game, then he could really threaten JT. I mean, obviously JT is certainly capable of producing the same results, if not better. But I mean, that's the name of the game in this competition. It's consistency, and it's just if you can produce results like that one weekend, it's a case of how many more times can you repeat them over the course of 8 weeks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's absolutely insane right there. Like, to a degree, I'm mind blown. I really don't even know what else to say about this situation. It's just really intense right now.
Oh yeah, we absolutely can't wait. I mean, that's the 5th round. We've still got 3 more rounds to go. We've still got 3 more games of the 5th round to go. And we do have one starting up in about less than 45 minutes from now. For that reason, we actually do have to cut it right here with the stream. But you are on the right channel for Game 18, which is up next. You are on twitch.tv /Maverick_Warriors, so do remain here, folks. But until very soon from then, whoever is streaming the next game, thank you for tuning in. Keep yourselves sat right here, and we'll see you again soon.
Stay beautiful, guys.